So we're now going to talk about another category of operators in RxJava in the observable class, which are the action operators. And these operators are interesting in that they don't modify an observable's values. They don't transform anything or filter it, but instead they just use it for side effects. And we'll start by talking about the doOnNext operator, which essentially adds a behavior to the stream that's triggered whenever an observable emits an item. And this behavior is passed as a consumer parameter that will be invoked if all goes well on earlier elements in the stream. So you can think of this consumer as essentially a callback that usually has some kind of side effect, often something like logging or debugging or something, or tracing. What doOnNext returns is an observable that doesn't have its values modified at all. The types aren't changed. The values of the elements are not changed. Nothing is changed. It just basically returns that particular value. It returns the original value and has some side effect. Here's a very simple example where we're going to have a stream that takes a list and turns it into an observable, and then we're going to go ahead and log each of the elements in the stream. If everything succeeds, of course, if something goes wrong and an exception is thrown, doOnNext will be skipped altogether, but otherwise it'll log the results. Surprise, surprise, Project Reactor has a doOnNext method in its Flux class that does the same thing. You can log the big fractions. Interestingly enough, Java Streams has something similar, which is the peek method. And as you can see here, we can use peek to print the results out, thereby logging them in effect for every element in the stream without disrupting, filtering, transforming, etc., the elements that flow through the stream. So that's the quick overview of the action operators. I'm describing the action operators primarily because they can be useful in your programming assignment number 5 if you start having weird behaviors and you're not quite sure what's going on, and you can use doOnNext in order to print out the results that are going through the stream at that point to get a better sense of what's happening and perhaps how to debug and fix your program if you're getting strange behaviors.